Hey, good morning, Stuart, Florida. My name is Dr. Treadrissacker, and I am a doctor of chiropractic. And I'm here to share a message of hope and health and wellness with you. And today I'm going to give you my to do list to be healthy. Okay, everybody has, I hope you have some skills as to what you do to be healthy and to stay healthy. And it's my goal to share with you what I do as a doctor and a chiropractor and someone who believes in natural healing and natural health care. This is my to do list that I try my best to do every day. Uh, you're listening to the Slim Body Laser Spa Health and Wellness Show being rebranded as DRTREDTV.com. And right now, we're still working out the details as to Dr. Tread's TV website and the actual place where you can view these videos. But for right now, the videos will be on my YouTube channel, which is Dr. Tread DC. So it's YouTube at Dr. Tread DC. And there it is up on the screen, YouTube at Dr. Tread DC. That is the YouTube channel that right now these live videos will be on. And when you go to the channel, you just select the live feature and you'll see all of the different shows that are available for you to view. They have a lot of different topics. Some are on vitamins and minerals. Another show was on metabolic syndrome and what it is and what you can do about metabolic syndrome. Of course, there's lots of shows on how lasers are being used to help to assist in weight loss and also to help you to look better and to feel better with very little downtime. There's pain lasers for inflammation and tissue healing, and there's also lasers being used to shrink away and to reduce subcutaneous fat. And we have them both in the office. I have a brother and a sister that are chiropractors that practice over in Jensen Beach. And we're going to actually be doing both. I'm going to be over there taking care of people again. I haven't been in practice with my neck and back practice in over 7 years, but I feel it's time to start integrating the laser services, the laser weight loss, along with the laser pain relief back into chiropractic care, which is my passion. I've always been very passionate about chiropractic. And now with all these beautiful ways of sharing information on the internet, once you get better at it, it's just exciting as heck. I love it. I love it. So without any further ado, let's get on to my list of what I take to be healthy. All right. Now I have a PDF here, which will help. I'm getting a little better at this. And what you see here is you see this is my list of how to be healthy. Okay. And the first thing that comes up here is to drink at least a gallon of purified water each day. So before I go into each one of these, health is not a guaranteed thing. Okay. No one is guaranteed to be healthy. I mean that. Absolutely nobody. And you're either getting healthier or you're really getting sicker. There's no medium. It's not like you can just coast. Okay. In other words, I've taken such good care of myself. And now for the next couple of weeks, I'm just going to coast and not do anything. Well, when you do that, you start to slip. Okay. There's no doubt about it. Health was described to me by Dr. Andrew Weil, who is a medical doctor and a lecturer. And he said that health is a lot like one of those punching dummies that you ever see those? They stand up like a clown and you fill them with air and they have weight in the bottom and you punch it forward and it falls back and then it pops back up again. You punch it again, falls down, comes back up again. He said that's his best description of what health is the ability to be knocked down and then to have the ability to bounce back again. Let's face it, we are all going to be sick someday. You might have symptoms. I believe symptoms are your body's healing process, that your body is striving to heal and to feel better and to maybe give you warnings that you need to make some changes. You need to listen to your body. And when it starts showing symptoms, the media or the pharmaceutical companies and the drug companies want you to believe that you have to take a pill to stop the symptom, or you shouldn't have to suffer. And I'll tell you, suffering is optional. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. And when you feel pain, you need to look at the sources why you're having this pain. What is it that what law have you been violating? What nature's laws have you been violating? And if you don't know what nature's laws are, what nature requires of you, you need to pay attention more to my talks and my lectures, because I always go over the nature's laws about healing and health. And I'll summarize them right now for you so you know what I'm talking about. Nature's laws, there's 4 basic laws of the body that require your due diligence and your energy to be put into this, okay? And the first one is what we call the law of nourishment. It is a law that if you don't put food into your body with healthy, builds strength, rebuilds tissue, gives you energy, and doesn't create toxins and poisons in your body at the same time, that nourishment is essential for your life. So that's the first law, is proper nourishment. Now, there's a lot that's been written about nourishment, and my feeling is eat fruits and vegetables as close to the vine as you can, so they're fresh and they have energy in it. And also, you want to have lean proteins and good fats. Stay away from processed food. Bottom line, it's all a big pile of doo-doo when it's processed. It no longer has the food and the vitality and the health in it anymore. So first rule, law of nourishment. The second law of health is the law of movement. Now, I didn't say the law of exercise. I'm talking movement. You got to move your body every day in every way. If you want your joints to last, if you don't want to suffer with arthritis and stiff necks and stiff backs, if you want to get the most from the nutrition that you're spending so much money for nowadays, it's expensive to eat healthy. If you're not getting that health, movement is what distributes the food to the parts of the body. When you eat nutrition and it goes into your bloodstream and it goes to the tissue cells, the only action that moves the fluid through your body is movement. You got to move your body. And that movement is what brings the food to the cells. And that movement is what gets rid of the toxins through what they call the skeletal muscle pump. And the skeletal muscle pump is the skeletal muscles contracting and relaxing, moving fluid through your body, through the lymphatic and venous system. So without movement, you're not distributing the nutrients to the different parts of the body, and ill health, arthritis, it starts to not work. Your body starts to fail. And what's really interesting is you could be moving some parts of your body, but not moving others. So an area which is being ignored or not looked at by moving can eventually become a problem when the food is getting to everywhere else. A good example would be if you were to tie your arm to your side for 6-7 months, just tie it to your side so you didn't lift it up, didn't move it. Over time, when you go to unlock that arm after 6 months of having it tied to your side, I promise you the muscles will be atrophied, the joint surfaces will be full of calcium, there's going to be a buildup of poisons within the joint surfaces, the arm muscle will have become weakened, the nerve supply will have become damaged. That's just from not using it. Yet we do that all the time in other areas of our body, just simply by not using it. So, number 2 law is the law of movement. Remember, the first one was nourishment. Number 2 is movement. Now, number 3 is something called rest and recuperation. We are very complex neurological creatures, animals. We have the top of the ability to feel, to touch, to see, to perceive, to have intuition, to have perceptions. We can imagine, we can create, no other, anything that's ever walked the earth before humans really had the abilities to do that to the level that we do. Ours is very, very advanced. And for that reason, we're very complex. And we also suffer from the nervous disorders and the mental problems that come with basically thinking too much. All right. And there's no doubt about it. You see it all around you. These are the people that are hard to deal with. They're not clearly thinking, and you can just tell there's problems. And it's because they're just so active. They're just so active, and the way the nervous system works, we can really create scenarios that are very mind numbing and can affect your health. So for that reason, rest and recuperation is really important. And that would be, we need to sleep. Okay. A human needs anywhere between 6 to 8 hours of uninterrupted, high quality sleep. That would be the first rule. And you can get that simply by turning off the lights when it gets dark. Try to time your sleep time when it's dark and your wake time when it's light. That helps a lot. Okay. Turn off any red, light devices in your room. Don't keep TVs on, just common sense stuff with sleep. I'm not going to go into all the different parameters here. This is just a review of these different systems, these 4 laws of health: nourishment, movement, and rest and recuperation. And the recuperation part has to do with basically changing your thoughts from one task, solely one task, such as work or taking care of somebody, to mixing it up and having other thoughts and other ideas and other situations. And I was reading about mental illness, and mental illness is something which gets worse when somebody doesn't really change what they're doing. In other words, you get so involved in a hobby that the hobby itself you become obsessed over it, and eventually it stops giving you pleasure. And when that happens and you're not getting pleasure from it anymore, it's hard to, your whole body starts to suffer from it. So it's good every now and then to change your hobbies too, especially if the hobby you're doing is not giving you any pleasure anymore. In other words, rest and recuperation is one of the laws of life. The last one, which is really important, is something called the law of sanitation. And that would be internal and external cleanliness. Living a clean, healthy life is really, really important. Okay. We're very concerned with what we put on our body. We don't walk around with smells and, poops on our skin or in our clothing because it's unhealthy and it would look bad. It's unhealthy. But why do we take the same care of our inner body? Are we respecting the inside of our body the same? Most of you are not. Okay. You're very concerned with how we look and how our teeth look, but inside you might be poisoning it daily with cigarettes, with alcohol, with drugs, whether it's over the counter or something you're getting from your friends. None of that, that is poisoning and putrefying the inner system. So you are violating the law of sanitation. And when you violate any of these laws, ill health and disease come. So you got that? Nourishment, movement, rest and recuperation, and we also have the law of sanitation. All right, now I'm going to get on with this so you can see that my list of things to be healthy here. And the first one on my list is I try to drink at least 1 gallon of purified water every day. Okay, and that's because your body needs water. You can't live a life without water. A lot of people don't like water. They've become trained into drinking flavored drinks and energy drinks and iced teas and coffee and Crystal Light and all these different flavored drinks. Well, water is an essential ingredient that gives life to humans. And our body is 76% water. We are water creatures with we're a bag of water, basically. And what happens is your body can't get healthy if you're not drinking enough pure water. And that's water that's not tied up in a flavor. It's not colored. It's not seasoned. It's not sugared. It's not salted. Water should be pure water. And when it's pure water, it has the best ability to remove toxins and to remove poisons from your body. If it's already coming into your body tied up with something, like let's say you're drinking coffee or sodas or even, juices and things like that, which are a little better choice, they still don't have the free water. And what happens is your systems eventually will start to fail because you need fresh water. You can't go without water. All right. And so what I try to do is I try to have at least 2 big solo cups of water every morning before I do anything else. After I go to the bathroom, of course, I drink 2 big glasses of water. I gulp it. The first one goes down easy. The second one, not so easy. And then it's a mission for me to get through at least a gallon of purified water each day. Sometimes I fall short. Sometimes I go over it, but it has to be something that I set up to be successful at. Because if I wait to get thirsty, I've made a big mistake. Because if you wait till you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. And that's not a good thing. So you want to drink water before you're thirsty, so you're not dehydrated. The same thing goes with food too. So that would be my first one. Number 2 is you got to exercise or move your body every day. Walk, jog, swim, practice yoga, do push-ups, leg lifts, whole body vibration, whatever it takes every single day. This is an immutable law, meaning it cannot be ignored. If you ignore the law of movement, nature will slowly or quickly surely eliminate you. That's some strong language. Yes, I'm telling you the truth. If you're not moving your body and exercising and distributing those nutrients to the body every single day, walking, jogging, swimming, yoga, do push-ups, leg lifts, whole body vibration, the law of nature will eliminate you. You're no longer viable. You can't remove toxins. Your body cannot get strong. You can't move towards friendliness and away from pain if you're not moving. So I exercise and move my body every day. And for me, sometimes it's just going for a walk after dinner, 20, 30 minutes of discipline walk. I have a little hill that we have close to my house. And my wife and I, we march up and down that hill. We walk down to the bottom, turn around and march back, and then I do push-ups on my way up and I do leg lifts and stuff. And I don't care who sees me. I want to be healthy. So I move and exercise every day. Number 3 is eat live food. Lots of fresh vegetables, okay? And low sugar food. At least 75% of your dietary intake should be plant-based, okay? Now, that conflicts with these keto diets and these high protein and low carbohydrate diets. But I'm telling you, carbohydrates that are vegetables, that are raw and lightly cooked or grilled or steamed, and eating fruit, which has low sugar amounts, is not the same thing as eating carbohydrates. See, these are complex carbs. These carbs are easily digested. They carry nutrients to your body. They carry fiber, and they help to cleanse your insides out. So these fresh veggies are really important. And then if you are suffering with low muscle tone, you're getting older and your body is losing muscle tone, then you need to supplement with more protein. All right. Number 4, eat high quality protein only, no processed meats. Try to stay away from processed meats. I am telling you, I'm going to have to just hold on one second. I'm on the live radio right now. Can I call you back? Okay. Yeah. I guess that's a yes. So, you want to eat high quality protein. Try to stay away from the processed meats, the cold cuts, the deli cuts, the sausages, anything which is processed, pickled, flavored is not as good of a choice as protein. Now, protein is how you rebuild muscles. If you don't have enough protein, you cannot rebuild muscles. Okay. So that's important to know that. So that's number 4. Number 5 is take supplements. All right. You know, what is a supplement? A vitamin, a mineral, and other plant based nutrients. Why? Because we are not getting as many or as much of these critically important nutrients in our food anymore. And that's due to processing, bad farming practices, excessive fertilizer, insecticides, pesticides, fresh food that is stored too long or shipped too far. Our food source is becoming almost poisoned and putrefied if you're not wary of what you're buying and what you're looking at. You cannot assume that the fruit and the vegetables that you're looking at the store were grown in a sustainable way. You cannot be sure of the nutrients that's within it. I mean, you hope and pray that all these green veggies and these different colors are giving you health and life, but then you find out that they've been radiated on their way from the grower to you, or they were grown in a non-sustainable way where the only thing they did was replace fertilizer to make it green and big, and it's not doesn't have the trace elements, the minerals. So it's important that we take supplements in the form of vitamins and minerals to be healthy. And below is my list for essential supplements needed to ensure you have the right stuff to boost your immune system. Now, this is critically important. I feel for you if you don't believe in supplementation, because without supplementation, you might be missing a critical part of health and healing in life without supplementation. So the first thing that happens is this is my list for essential supplements, and they need to ensure you have the right stuff to boost your immune function. Okay. Stress causes vitamin and mineral depletion. When we're under heavy duty stress, whether it's toxins, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical stress, our vitamin and minerals are depleted naturally. So we need to take more to offset that. Stress will need you to increase specific nutrients and supplements besides your regular multivitamin dosage. So when I look at vitamins and supplements, I have a certain amount that I take every day to maintain and sustain my wellness. And then I have other amounts that I'll take when I'm not feeling well or I think something is wrong to boost and to help overcome whatever that malady might be, whether it's a chest cold, whether it's an infection somewhere in my body that I was not aware of. I will double up on vitamins and supplements to make up the difference for those. And it works very well for me. So this first part is simply just what I do every day. And the next part's going to be how I treat certain conditions. Okay. So the first one is vitamin C. I take 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C twice a day. And that means 2 grams. I also take what they call liposomal vitamin C. Liposomal vitamin C. And what that is, liposomal vitamin C is vitamin C which has been wrapped in a fatty envelope. So, and let's show you that. Liposomal vitamin C. This is the liposomal means that the vitamin C is wrapped in a fatty envelope. So when you eat liposomal vitamin C, you get a huge amount actively made to the cell, because regular vitamin C is ascorbic acid, and that's water soluble, and it's not easily absorbed into the different cells. Your cells have a fatty lipid membrane around it called a phospholipid membrane. So that liposomal vitamin C, since it's coated in fat, it passes through the cell wall easier. Thus, you get more vitamin C to the cells. So, I've had times where I've taken as many as 5 to 10,000 milligrams or 10 to 15 grams of vitamin C liposomal if I had an infection or something going on. All right. My next one would be vitamin D. Okay. Now, vitamin D is one of those ingredients, one of those things which is absolutely critically important for energy. Vitamin D is produced when the cholesterol and sunlight hit the body, and you have cholesterol and you have sunlight, and you will produce vitamin D. It's a hormone. It's not necessarily a vitamin, but they do call it a vitamin. And vitamin D is one of the major factors when people are sick or they're not feeling well, and they're, more susceptible to COVID, having a lowered immune response, having a, easier to get chest colds, possible COVID. Vitamin D levels on all of those people are very, very low. And so what they have found is that people that have enough vitamin D are much more resistant to getting colds and flus and viruses. Okay, that's why you've seen so much energy and talk about vitamin D. Now, vitamin D needs to be taken with zinc. Okay, and I recommend at least 200 micrograms of zinc. All right, and that's because without the zinc, the vitamin D doesn't work as well. So, this is an anti-COVID measure. If you have you had taken your immunizations, if you did the vaccination and you're concerned about the spike proteins, vitamin D and zinc can be very beneficial in helping to treat that malady from those spike proteins. All right. So that's the importance of vitamin D. The next one would be vitamin A. And vitamin A is basically for eyes. It helps with your vision, but I take 1,000 micrograms per day. Now, vitamin D and vitamin A are fat soluble, so you don't want to do too much of them. Okay, the next one I take is the zinc sulfate, and like I told you, the 220 milligrams per day, micrograms per day, and that would be because when I take the vitamin D, I take the zinc. I also take a Super B complex. And Super B is really important because it controls all of your nerve functions, your inner, it helps with neuropathies, it helps with pains, it helps with inflammation. And there's like 12 different B vitamins from B1 to B2 to B3. You've heard of B12. Well, getting them in a Super B complex kind of covers all those bases. So I highly recommend you take the B complex. The next one would be a multi-mineral supplement. Now, this is not a vitamin supplement. These are minerals. And minerals are trace elements that occur naturally in nature that plants provide to us. And when you're not getting enough plants that have enough minerals in it, which is really common, you got to supplement with a mineral supplement. So I like liquid mineral supplements myself. You can also do some salts, like the Himalaya salts, the sea salts that naturally have a lot of minerals in it. That's almost therapeutic. It's not the same as your iodized salt, that's table salt. This has minerals in it. So some people just use the salt, but not to get too complicated here, you need a multi-mineral supplement, okay? That's very, very important. All right, so the next part that I would tell you is that, I want to talk 1 second about about multivitamins, okay? And the multivitamins that I take is a product called Intramax. And the Intramax is something that, and I'll give it here for you. So Intramax is super, what it is it is a vitamin supplement that has 415 different substances in it, vitamins, minerals, superfoods, blue-green algaes, aloe vera, all kinds of stuff. think we're still going here, right? Yep. Okay. So, and as a result of it, you buy it in a container, and it's a liquid vitamin supplement, and you let it dissolve under your tongue. And it really kind of covers you as far as all those other vitamins that you're not able to take. People have a problem, with handfuls of vitamins. The Intramax by Drucker Labs is a product it pretty much covers your bases. You really don't have to take any other supplements unless it's for a condition you're suffering with, than the Intramax. And I've been using Intramax since my 30s, so it's a really great product. And that's pretty much my part about my vitamins and supplements. You got to take a multivitamin. You should be taking a mineral supplement. You should be taking extra vitamin C. You should be taking extra vitamin D with zinc. Okay. And also alpha omega 3. You want to take some fatty acids. Really, really important for overall health and wellness. All right. Now, I don't really have a lot of time today, so I'm going to leave it at that. When I come back tomorrow, I'm going to go over more about the nutrients and supplements you should be taking if you have specific problems. Things like heart disease or breathing problems or other areas that aren't helping, that you're not getting better from. Vitamins can help with that. I can be reached at my office at 772-223-5885. And it's pretty cool. It's called the Slim Body Laser Spa, and I can help you with nutrition and get rid of that stubborn fat, but you'd have to give us a call. Okay. Thanks a lot for tuning in. If you'd like to share this, I hope you do. Share it with someone that you love. Let them know that your health is far greater than anyone has allowed you to believe. Your ability to maintain and sustain health is entirely up to you. It's your job. Don't give it to anybody else. Don't give away your power to a pharmaceutical company. Work on maintaining and sustaining good habits that lead to good health. All right. Thank you so much. We will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.